Yo, what is good everybody? It's E-Man and we are back with another video. Today, y'all already know what it is. We are going to be ranking the best duelists in Yu-Gi-Oh! Zexal. We've already done this with Classic, GX, 5Ds, and now finally, some of you guys' favorite Yu-Gi-Oh! Which I don't get, but hey, we're finally doing it with Zexal. Y'all already know how I'm doing it. I don't care how cool the character is. They got to be clean with the cards. So don't be in the comments talking about, where is this person? Where is this person? This person was cool. I used to love this character. If they don't know how to duel, or if they only had like one mediocre duel, they probably didn't make this list. And I'm gonna be completely transparent with you guys. Yu-Gi-Oh! Zexal is by far the most difficult one that I've had trouble ranking. So many of the duelists are so close in skill that it's like they're almost interchangeable in the spots that they could be put. But I did it to the best of my ability, so please bear with me. This is ranking the best duelists in Yu-Gi-Oh! Zexal. But before we do that, please, if you like videos like this, make sure you subscribe because I be doing these videos frequently. And if you rock with this video, make sure you hit that thumbs up button. Now, let's see who deserves the crown for the best duelist in Yu-Gi-Oh! Zexal. Let's do it. In the number 10 spot, we got Vetrix. Vetrix may be an absolutely terrible dad, but I gotta give it to him, he is a pretty decent duelist. Kite is an incredibly skilled duelist who is constantly able to use his ace card just about whenever he wants to. So to even be able to stand up to a duelist like that, you gotta have some type of skill. I think he had some pretty shady tactics in his duel up against Kite, and I really wish he didn't use Heart as kind of a crutch in that battle to throw Kite off, because there was a very possible chance that he still could have won that duel. And Vetrix's Heraldic deck doesn't really seem like it has a lot of significant strong points the same way that the Galaxy Eyes deck does, but he was still able to use it and almost take out Kite. So I can't say that he's at all a bad duelist, because throughout the show it's almost like the Galaxy Eyes deck is just one of the strongest decks ever. So going against it with something that doesn't seem like it has any real super power that's able to take him out, I feel like I gotta give him some props for that. But I can't give him too much props because I still feel like he kinda cheated in that duel, so that's why he's gonna be number 10. Now in our number 9 spot, we got Dr. Faker. Dr. Faker was the main villain of the Duel Carnival arc, and honestly, he stands up to that title. But the fact that it took Shark, Kite, and Yuma to defeat him, I don't think that was necessary. I think they overdid it a little bit, but I can really only go off what we saw. And if it took 3 of the strongest duelists in the entire show to defeat him, I think he deserves his spot in the top 10. Plus, he's kind of our introduction into the Baryon world, and we know how strong of duelists that Baryons are. But mainly due to needing the big 3 of Yu-Gi-Oh! Zexal, Dr. Faker is gonna make it into our number 9 spot. Now on the topic of Baryons, in our number 8 spot, we got Misael. Misael is the first Baryon to make this list, and he is the fake, garbage, doesn't hold a candle to my boy Kite, master of the Galaxy Eyes Photon Dragon. But putting my own personal feelings aside, he's a really good duelist. Out of all the Baryons that we've seen in the second half of Zexal, he's gotta be top 5, maybe even top 3. When we first see Misael's encounter with Kite, the power of Galaxy Eyes Tachyon Dragon is so strong that it almost breaks the Baryon field and it knocks him out of Baryon mode. But that is also because Galaxy Eyes Photon Dragon was there. But Galaxy Eyes Tachyon Dragon is incredibly strong. Plus, in his battle with Quentin and Trey, which if you've watched Yu-Gi-Oh! Zexal, you know that they are still exceptional duelists. They didn't make this list, but that's because of people like Misael. But he whooped them in like a split second when he was going up against them, because he's just that exceptional of a duelist. And he's only in the number 8 spot, so that just goes to show just how exceptional the duelists in Zexal actually are. Now in the number 7 spot, we got number 96, Dark Mist. The main conflict with Astral and Dark Mist was mainly like the inner turmoil for Astral, but man was he still a good duelist. Originally, number 96 wasn't nearly as strong in the beginning as he was toward the end. I mean, he had a duel with Bronk and lost, but you can constantly see him just getting stronger and stronger and stronger throughout the series. Number 96 in that duel was able to go up against Astral and Utopia, destroy Utopia, and hit Astral directly. And it was from like 1600 to 900. And Astral is one of the best duelists in the show, in my opinion. He is fantastically smart, and he has amazing cards. And by the end of that duel, it was a draw. And the only other match that he lost was against Astral and Yuma using the power of Zexal and the Shining Draw, which you kind of just can't beat. Number 96 was constantly put in the absolutely worst situations, and more times than not came out of it alive. So for this reason, I kinda have to put in the number 7 spot. Next up on the list, we got Vector in the number 6 spot. Vector has just gotta be the strongest out of the main Baryons that we see. I'm counting Ray and Vector's wins as one, since like they are technically, but Vector as a Baryon literally beat all the other Baryons that he needed to, so how would he not be the strongest one? He beat Dumon, Garig, and Marin, so how could he not be the best? Not to mention Dumon and Marin double teamed him and he still destroyed them. He's had some of the most difficult duels out of the Baryons, and I think the most wins out of the rest of the Baryons. So because of that, he has to go in the number 6 spot. Now in the number 5 spot, we got the big Baryon, Don 1000. Don 1000 was an absolute unit. There's 4 pretty definite characters above him, but he's the main villain of Yu-Gi-Oh! Zexal, so he's bound to be pretty high up. He was by far the most terrifying villain that we've seen in all of Yu-Gi-Oh! And I know that when he upped that card with like 10,000 attack points, Yuma and them were probably shaking in their boots. Like, how do you beat that? Not only did he have a basically unstoppable card, but he was literally rewriting the cards that they were putting down. It took the strongest duelists in Yu-Gi-Oh! Zexal and the strongest cards in Yu-Gi-Oh! Zexal just to defeat him. So without a doubt, Don 1000 goes into the number 5 spot. Now in the number 4 duelist spot, we got Astral. Astral is probably the smartest duelist of any of the duelists in Yu-Gi-Oh! And the biggest thing for me as a duelist is your strategy. In a lot of these videos, I use the best duelist and the best strategist almost synonymously. So the fact that Astral is constantly telling Yuma this is the smartest way to go, I have to count that as him just being one of the best duelists in Yu-Gi-Oh! Zexal. It would be impossible for Yuma to be as good as he is, and not only as good as he is, good at all, without Astral. Astral was the keeper of basically all of the number cards, so he probably had the strongest deck that we've seen in all of Yu-Gi-Oh! Zexal. And he was the reason that Yuma became one of the greatest duelists in the show. The last duel where he is absolutely pushing Yuma to be his best self just showcases not only the power in his deck because he was using every single version of Utopia, but the fact that he was able to come up with a contingency plan for everything that Yuma was doing, it takes an insane amount of talent. Plus, he didn't technically lose a duel until his duel with Yuma. His duel with Kite, he probably would have lost if Yuma didn't take over, but I can't count it as a loss on him. Also, we can't forget that he's the one that originally defeated Don 1000, so I gotta put him above Don 1000 on this list. So Astral is the 4th best duelist in Yu-Gi-Oh! Zexal. Now for the 3rd best duelist in Yu-Gi-Oh! Zexal is Shark, aka Reginald Castle, aka Nash. He's beat Yuma, he's beat Vector, he's even beat other formidable duelists like Rio or even Quattro, like, he is honestly got to be one of the best duelists in maybe Yu-Gi-Oh as a whole. Without his Baryon powers, he was almost regional champion, and with his Baryon powers, he became king of the Baryons. Shark absolutely deserves to be in the top 3, but I don't think he deserves to be any higher than number 3. The second best duelist in all of Yu-Gi-Oh! Zexal has got to be Yuma Tsukumo. Part of the reason that I don't think I can put Yuma Tsukumo as the best duelist in Yu-Gi-Oh! Zexal is because every single one of his duels, or at least the vast majority of them, it's a 2 versus 1, which is incredibly unfair. I do like when duelists are able to exhibit their power through mystical, magical things, but the power of Zexal is the epitome of plot armor. Having a superpower that lets you draw the perfect card at the perfect time takes the finesse away from duel monsters to an extent. He's an absolute loser at the beginning of Yu-Gi-Oh! But by the end of it, I think the second season, I don't think he lost a single duel. But I can't overlook the fact that Yuma at his strongest is basically unbeatable. Not only is him and Astral using the power of Zexal just literally a force to be reckoned with, but even in his duel against Astral, through his own sheer power of will, he is definitely an amazing duelist. No matter how much I think he is an imbecile, I can't overlook the fact that he does know how to duel. As a Yu-Gi-Oh! Protagonist, he has shown the most growth out of all of them. So he absolutely goes in the number 2 spot. In the number 1 spot, the best duelist in all of Yu-Gi-Oh! Zexal is Kite. Kite had 1 loss in the entire series, and it was against Vetrix, and it was because Vetrix was cheating. I don't think there's a single Yu-Gi-Oh! Protagonist, much less a Yu-Gi-Oh! Side character, who has gone the entire series without losing a duel. That is absolutely unheard of. If you don't think that Kite is the best duelist, I think you're insane, honestly. Like, Yuma is amazing, but Kite is honestly quite a few strides ahead of him. Kite is the master of the Galaxy Eyes, and if he didn't jump into the Don 1000 duel, I don't think we would have won that fight. We've seen him go up against just as many formidable foes as we've seen Yuma go up against, but Kite has not lost. And in my personal opinion, Kite is the strongest non-protagonist character that we've seen in all of Yu-Gi-Oh! So the best duelist in all of Yu-Gi-Oh! Zexal is Kite. And that is the list for the best duelists in Yu-Gi-Oh! Zexal. Please let me know in the comments how you feel about the list. If you think some people weren't included in the list, how you would have changed it. Let me know. I kind of want to see who you guys think is the best duelist in Zexal. But if you did like this video, please make sure you hit that thumbs up button. And if you like more videos like these, I got a bunch already on my channel for the previous Yu-Gi-Ohs. And if you want to see more, hit that subscribe button, because I got another video coming for y'all for Yu-Gi-Oh! Arc 5. But either way, thank y'all so much for checking out the video, and I'm going to catch y'all in the next one. We out. Peace.